So for step 2, attaching the rear suspension shafts. Well, you can see that we've got this E6 and E5 piece, and then we have these two shafts here that have to have some grease put on them as we place these into these side parts. And then, of course, it's all going to be screwed down by these 4 BA3 screws. So those are the screws that we need. Those are the rear suspension shafts, and those are the parts that we need for this. So I'll set this up and we'll put it together. So to put this together, I think we'll start at this side, and we're going to actually put this piece on right from the start. So you can see that this isn't the right one because it's got the wider hole at this side. So our E5 piece should look like that. That's the part that's got to sit right here. So I think we're going to attach that first, and I'll show you why in a minute. So obviously we need to grab our BA3 screws, and they're going to be attached from, you can see down here on the inside. So let's take that one there, make sure that doesn't pop out. You can see that this needs to sit there like that. So we've got that inside of there. I'll grab the screwdriver. And we'll screw that into place. Now, again, I want to make sure that it's going to go in without any binding. So I'm going to take the other screw, put it in there. Come on. There we go. And make sure that that goes inside of that plastic part. That way they're getting screwed in together. You can see where the two screws are going to go, and this is going to sit inside of there. You can see, just like the other one, it kind of has this ridge on either side for it to sit in. So let's just screw this one in all the way. And I'll show you why I'm doing one right off the bat that will screw in all the way. Now this is hard plastic going into hard plastic, so with the tapping screw, as soon as you're at the end, you'll know. I can't turn it any farther. So you can see that that's nicely in place. Now, the reason I wanted to get that in right away is because you can see that these three pieces have to sort of be sandwiched in between all of this. And if one is nice and solid, it's going to make things a little easier. So you can see that these suspension shafts have to be greased up first. So I've opened the grease tube that came with the kit. Turn this around. As soon as I popped the top, it kind of spread out a whole bunch of grease right away. So I'm going to take this and slide that inside of there, just like that. Wipe my hands off a bit. So you can see that there is one shaft that's gone inside of there, comes out on this side. Now you'll see the way this is done, you can see there's a notch. You want the open holes facing towards the front of the chassis. That is going to slide in like that on that side. Kind of gets sandwiched in, as I was saying. So what happens is we have to do the same thing with this side. We need to grease this up. Slide it inside there. So the bigger hole on that side. See? And that is now going to go inside. This part's going inside that hole. And now this has to be screwed down. But you see, by screwing down one to begin with, it makes it easier to put everything else together so that you're not trying to screw in this and try and fiddle with all that middle stuff. So now we know that that's in the right place. We can grab a screw, fit it in the hole up there, and I'll screw that in a bit. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So I'll put that screw into that hole. Come on. There we go. Make sure that that's going in correctly. There we go. And we'll screw this all the way down. So I'm just going like back and forth, making sure that there's no binding with any of this. There we go. I'm at the end. Again, you're going to feel it as soon as it gets to the end. And that's at the end. There we go. So that is the rear suspension shafts in place, and you can see that these are nicely fitted on the inside of the plastic. And then of course we've got our shafts that we're going to attach the suspension parts to in a bit later step. But there we go. So that is step 2 complete. So now we're going to move on to step 3 and attach the front uprights.